cutbacks show people's true colors.
I have crippling depression.
My general manager posted the cutback schedule yesterday morning. She sat everyone down a few days ago and explained the situation, that everyone's hours would be getting cut back, offered alternatives like voluntary layoffs to collect unemployment, things like that. She kept reiterating it for several days and made clear that the cut hours were nothing personal and they were trying to keep as many people on as possible. Well, apparently the new schedule didn't sit too well with my fellow front desk worker Anita. She began furiously texting my assistant general manager last night about it, particularly pissed that I was getting 4 days this upcoming week, while she was getting 3. Assistant general manager tried to explain that the 4 days weeks would be rotating among the remaining day shift front desk assistants, to be as fair as possible. Nope, Anita wouldn't have it. She insisted that I was being catered to, and that she should get at least 4 days a week, every week, since she's been there the longest. She's been there 3 months longer than me, and has a spotty attendance record, to put it nicely. All this is over text message at like 9 PM by the way. She couldn't have done this at the end of her shift earlier in the day, when both my general manager and assistant general manager were there in person to talk about it. So apparently today, before Anita's shift starts at 7 AM, she bursts into my general manager's office and starts yelling at my general manager, using all kinds of vulgarities. There were a lot of inappropriate references, basically reiterating her points, but doing so loud enough that the few guests we do can hear it out in the lobby. My general manager shows an uncharacteristic amount of tolerance for this behavior. I'm guessing because she didn't want to create even more of a scene than what already was happening, and the situation finally diffused. But Anita still seems to think that she's entitled to some kind of special treatment around here, which I don't get. It's particularly disappointing because she and I are pretty tight, and I've always wished her nothing but success. I always keep an eye out for reviews that mention her name and print them for her, and I cover for her when she's sick or needs time off. Happens a lot. Kind of sucks that she's trying to crap on me during a time where we need to all stick together. Anita is definitely going to lose her shit when she finds out my general manager is appointing me acting assistant general manager when our general manager goes on maternity leave for 3 months. But behavior like today is just one more thing my general manager can point to if Anita asks why she got passed over. She's just digging her own grave.
Be gone, sucks!
Wife is stupid and doesn't work.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Just got this review in. I am sorry that your wife isn't very intelligent, nor can she hold a job. Not super sure how that made your stay a 1 out of 5 stars. I'm guessing he meant her Wifi, which is dumb and often struggles to work. It's definitely funnier to think of this as a review about his own wife though.
You are fake news.
Apparently a convenience store does not qualify as an option for food.
Oh, hell no!
So at my hotel our food and beverage is lucky to still be operating. The only reason it hasn't is because it's a brand standard to have a full-service bar and restaurant open. Where we close at midnight for the bar and restaurant. Cue to me working audit tonight, and of course at 12:30 I get a ton of check-ins from a delayed flight. All of them are hungry and annoyed, none of them like my suggestions. Directly across the street is a 24-hour 7-Eleven, down the street further is a Denny's and another diner. Everyone I have suggested to these options to has looked disgusted and stormed off like a toddler. I even had 2 different ladies say so what, I have to starve. No, you could walk across the street and buy food. They 100% sell food at 7-Eleven. But I don't want that crap they sell. I mean they sell fruit too, and veggie to-go items, they are 24 hours too so, if you change your mind they will be open. I just hate when people want options, but then crap down my throat when their options are limited at 1 AM.
Are you mad, bro? Tell me what you're mad for.
I need to ask you to stop that shouting. It's making people nervous.
Do it! Just do it!
Still pissed off after this. I start my shift, and there's a guy in the lobby on the phone yelling at the other person. I tell him to take his conversation outside, because people in the hotel are trying to sleep. He does for a while. He comes back, and he's still yelling into his phone, only now he has the person on speakerphone. I tell him he'll need to leave, or I will have to call the police. I can hear the person on the other end telling him to quit yelling, and the dude denies it, but instead blames it on me being a racist. He leaves again just as I get off the phone with non-emergency dispatch. He's super pissed now, and once he's outside he bashes one of our windows.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Is Google not a thing anymore? Like, I'm genuinely confused by customers calling me to look up addresses or our address. Don't get me wrong, if they come to the front desk and ask me where something is, I will give them the address. I am talking about the guests that call me to have me look up an address. Besides our hotel address, I will need to look up all addresses on Google. Like, okay, so how did you get my number to call me? I highly doubt you looked it up in a phone book. Literally, who has those anymore? If you googled my number, you have the hotel address right there. Also, if they got our phone number off a business card, email signature, whatever, our address would be attached to it as well. I just got a call from a guest asking where the bookstore was. I don't mind looking up the address, but don't you think it is much quicker to use the phone that you used to Google our number, to Google the bookstore's address? Guest knew the name of the bookstore. Instead, the guest called me to ask me to look up the address, which then I had to Google, tell him the address, while he had speakerphone, and put it into his maps. Like, what kind of boomer shit is this? Like, that whole call was about 5 minutes long, which would have took him less time to just Google it on his phone. Like, please, someone has to think this is as crazy as me. Like, the logic in this is insane. I'm posting this as 1, to vent, and 2, I know this has to drive other people crazy too.